say thank you.
We're dying. To record. I thought it was 1 hour. I'm like, oh, we'll be cutting it close, but cool.
Yeah, we have a short podcast today.
Yep, short podcast. Just in case the video does work, we were very close to only doing an audio only episode today. If this is just an audio only podcast that you're listening to, just know that my camera situation is going to make me want to kill myself. I hate that part of this.
No, we need your battery to last a lot longer.
Well, that's it's not the like recording
your physical
part.
Battery.
It's
as a person.
Oh, me as a person. Just give me one of those things like in the Matrix. Just plug me in. I'll be Cypher. That's fine.
What, do you remember those 90s commercials with the battery? Like the people who had the batteries
Oh,
in their bags?
yeah.
Which in retrospect is very morbid.
Yeah. Well, do you remember that one show? What was it called with the android girl?
No.
Oh, what was the show called? I can't remember. There was like a family, and I think like the dad was a scientist or something, and he invented a girl android, like a young girl android, and like
Sounds so ominous.
And they were trying to. Well, she looked like a human, except for like a battery pack sticking out of her back that they would like cover up with like a dress or whatever. But like they were afraid of people finding out, so they like just treated her like she was their daughter. And it was like an 80s sitcom. Oh,
that's probably why.
Yeah.
I wish there was a place to stream it. I should look it up. 80s sitcom.
I think it was like if it wasn't the 80s, it's like very, very early 90s, like 90, 91 or something like that. But I think it was 80s. I think it was like 86 or 87 or something like that.
Mm-hmm. It definitely sounds like that dude could have done something nefarious.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like when you look back at a lot of shows like that, and it's like weird. Like this guy built a little girl. like that's weird. Like if you go by like every like the VCR, you know, like it immediately just started getting used for porn. So like, what was this guy doing? You know.
Yeah, I mean, people are getting busted for AI.
Yeah. Like, it's wild. Like that video that was like making the rounds like last week or a few weeks ago, where Trump was like licking Elon's feet,
which is beautiful.
Yeah,
I was like, kudos. I hope they keep on making art like this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when the camera died 5 minutes ago, and I went to the restroom, I was flipping through my phone, and there's a new AI, and it's Zelensky just like punching Trump in the face. Like somebody took a picture of them sitting in the chairs, like yesterday. How like when they had the TIFF, the little international TIFF. Mm-hmm. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I got the news alert like right when it happened, and was still happening, and I tuned in. It was already like halfway done through the last 10 minutes, but I could not have kept my cool.
So somebody took a film still from that, and used AI to have Zelensky just like clock.
Yes. And I know that we said that we're gonna keep it more lighthearted, but that was
we can't not talk about that. Yeah. I just don't want to go into like all the weird shit anymore, because it's just like very annoying, and I need to like stop obsessing about it, you know.
It's so hard for me not to.
Well, because it's always on. Like, and my YouTube algorithm is a lot of like news people, but like obviously I started following them because they talk about politics, but in normal times they also just talk about weird like random stories, and that honestly I had more fun watching that watching them talk about that than like the politics. Like the politics was nice, keep me up to date, but like talk about some like alligator eating like a golf cart or something, you know? And that's what kept me watching it, and that's what a lot of the clips that used to be in my algorithm were. But now it's like because those channels dominate my YouTube algorithm. Like most of the recommended videos are videos from those channels, and now because there's just so much going on all the time, it's like all political reactions and analysis, and I'm just like, I gotta get away from this. So I just started watching like animal videos.
Yes.
Like I leaned back into I couldn't remember the channel's name last time I brought them up, but now I remember. It's the Casual Geographic. So I intentionally went to his channel and just started watching videos just to like get my algorithm leaning back in that direction. And today it fed me a video of a kid learning to speak bonobo. And he goes to like a bonobo retreat and just starts like communicating with the bonobos. And I guess like one of the things that bonobos like to do is show you their feet. They like lay on their back and like show you their feet. And he did that, and like the bonobos all freak out because they're like, I didn't know you knew that.
I want to see that. Although bonobos creep me out.
Well, bonobos are the nice ones. Chimpanzees are like the...
Just visually walking on how they walk like us. And I'm like, ah.
Well, they are the
closest.
Yeah, them and chimpanzees. We share the most DNA with those two, and them with us as well. Like we are each other's closest like cousin.
Oh yeah, I have a degree in anthropology.
Oh, okay. Well, did you know that male bonobos, socialize by rubbing their balls together?
Yeah, we had a whole chapter that we had to focus on bonobos, and it was was a lot.
Yeah, male bonobos, they socialize by rubbing their genitals together.
Female bonobos' boobies look like like our boobies. But
yeah, I don't know. Obviously, a bonobo can do damage if it wanted to, but bonobos are typically like chill, right? They're like not really aggressive.
They can get pretty aggressive.
But it's like a playful aggression, though, right?
We had to watch movies that
because I know chimps.
No, they were definitely not chimps. These were.
Okay, because I know chimps are like super like you don't want to see a chimp in the wild. Basically, is what the vibe I get from chimps is like. If you see a chimp in the wild, you're pretty much dead.
Well, they have to view you as like a threat or an aggressor.
I feel like from what I've seen on Casual Geographic, I feel like chimps are just assholes and they will like fuck you up if they see you. Just because they're assholes, not because they're like threatened by you or just because they can. Especially if it's a group of chimps. Like a group of chimps are basically like a group of teenagers, but like with super strength.
Bonobos can get pretty aggressive as well, especially female bonobos.
Yeah, but like around their kids though, right?
No, like they can be twats for the sake of being twats. They also sexually gratify themselves like humans do, and not in like a way that a dog can hump like a stuffed animal. Like they
well, don't bonobos just like have sex all the time?
Yeah, they're very horny.
Yeah. Just like us.
Yeah. But whatever we had to like learn about them,
How do you feel about gorillas?
Gorillas? I think they are so sweet. I think I enjoy them more than chimps and bonobos. I would rank them higher.
Yeah.
How about you?
I like gorillas. Like I think gorillas are like misunderstood just because they're like so big. I think people think they're like aggressive, but gorillas are actually not that aggressive.
Yeah.
Like if you mess with them, they'll get, they'll defend themselves. Or like if you get into like their territory or, whatever, like all the normal things, like they'll, put you in check. But as long as you're just like chill and leaning back, like they're kind of like they're like curious about you, you're curious about them, and like they're usually kind of like chill. Like there's that video of the kid, I forget what zoo it is, but like some kid falls over the railing.
Oh, there's multiple zoos. It happens.
Well, I mean Harambe famously, but like there's other instances where like a kid falls over into like the gorilla,
and they protect
them. They protect him,
and then they get shot because of it half the time.
But yeah, there's like all kinds of videos of like kids falling in like that, and gorillas like kind of making sure none of the other gorillas like mess with him. Orangutans too. I like orangutans.
They're sweet.
Yeah.
I can't think of the name. It begins with an M.
Or no. Is it like a bigger chimp or like a smaller one?
Small.
Is it like the one from Friends?
Yes.
I don't remember what that one is called, but yeah, I know what you're saying.
They have so many at the Detroit Zoo, and watching their familial interactions is delightful because the children are just playing like kids, and you can see the exasperation on their parents' face when they're trying to wrangle them. It is adorable, and the kids are like they can fit in your hand. So to see them scurrying, is adorable.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I would like to interact with some sort of chill ape or monkey. Definitely not with like a chimp. I do not want to interact with a chimp. Like, nah, I don't need you in my life.
Did you ever see the movie Congo?
No, I haven't seen it. That's the one with Anthony Hopkins, right?
Tim Curry.
Tim Curry? Mm-hmm. I thought it was Anthony Hopkins. Didn't he do Congo?
He might have been in it, but the character I remember the most is Tim Curry's character. I watched it with my dad in the 90s when it first came out on pay-per-view, and it terrified me. I'm sad because it portrays gorillas as aggressive and terrible.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like that happens a lot to gorillas in the media. But like they're very chill though.
Yeah, if they put chimps in there.
Oh yeah, if they put chimps in there for sure. Yeah. Chimps are they're dirty little things. Like they're not fun. But yeah, I saw another video on Casual Geographic about how he did a different video, and he said if that video gets 200,000 likes, he'll fly to like an elephant sanctuary. And so the video got like 300,000 likes. And he was like, well, I'm going to an elephant sanctuary. And he did. He went to an elephant sanctuary. But he like the video was just like interesting because he was like talking about trying to find one. And like so many of them are like
unethical.
They're like, come bathe an elephant. And it's like, well, but like you're going to be bathing the elephant all fucking day because like people are coming in all day. Like you're like forcing the elephant to stay in this water all day long. Like, would you want to be in the water all day long? You know, and like a lot of the places use like these like ankle kind of braces to keep them in the water so they can't get out, and it's just like really weird. He found one that just like they don't guarantee you anything. They're just like, you're just gonna be an elephant for a day. Like whatever they do, that's what you're gonna do. So he went to that, and it was kind of cool. Like I would like to interact with some elephants. I think that would be fun. Like baby elephants are like a lot of fun. They look like.
Yeah, I love when they find out how they communicate with each other too.
How do they communicate with each other?
Like they have like little songs and stuff, and like each year they come out with like something. Oh, we found out they do this too.
And they dropped a new mixtape. Elephants out here dropping mixtapes. I didn't know that. But yeah, baby elephants look like they're fun. And they look like they can be a lot, but they look like they're fun.
Yeah. I always feel bad for squids as well.
Yeah.
They're so smart.
Yeah. They are very smart. And it's insane. Like, they figured out that if they're going across, like, a sandbar to, like, get something to cover yourself. Because, like, if a predator starts coming, like, they'll have, like, if they find, like, a bottle just floating in the ocean, they'll grab the bottle, and that's what they use to cross like long sandbars. Because if they see a predator coming, they just go into the bottle, and then the predator can't get them because they're inside of the bottle. Or like they'll use a shell or like a hollow rock or something.
They're so smart.
Yeah. And they can get through as long as like the gap is bigger than their mouth, they can get through it. Because their mouth is the only solid thing on their body.
Yeah, it's a beak.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
We had to dissect squids in 5th grade. And we had a whole conversation about how we had to be very respectful of the squid's body. And we each had our own squid. And I felt kind of bad about that. But we had to, take its beak out and take its spine out. Which is like, it looks weird. It looks like almost like a thing that you would put on a corner so a baby wouldn't hit its head on it. Like those clear.
Oh, like a stopper or something.
Yeah.
Like rubber.
Mm-hmm. So it's like kind of angular like that.
Oh, okay.
And then we had to take out its ink sac. And as I'm doing this, I'm like trying to hold it in its napkin, and I took it out, or like I like laid it down, and like the eyes had stuck to the napkin on both sides, and I'm like, oh no, it's gonna look like I was not respectful.
You're just rocking back and forth. Your teacher walks in and goes, I was being respectful. I was being respectful. I was being respectful.
And yet, despite all the rules about being respectful, so they had us take out the ink sac and use the spinal thing to write our names.
No, that's very respectful. Hey kids, let's be respectful with these squids. By the way, we're going to use them to do calligraphy. Fun fact, the Constitution was written with a squid spine and ink sac. That's funny. Only thing I dissected in high school was a worm. And like everybody had a worm, and the room smelled like absolute ass from all these dissected worms. And it's like you were not expecting that from like a thing like this big and like that wide. You cut it open and it's just immediately like
How was it though? Was it cool? Did you like it as an assignment?
It was all right. It wasn't my thing. I wasn't into cutting things open like that. That's why I'm not a doctor.
I don't like group projects, and I hate how for ethics reasons it's probably good that they don't get one per person, but I hate having to pair up. That gives me such anxiety.
Yeah. I didn't always feel like that. But like I was like one of the like smarter kids, and like I was good at taking tests back then just because like I would study, but it wasn't like I was like smart, I just could retain the information long enough to take the test, and then once I took the test, all of the information was gone. And so because of that, everybody like perceived me as like a smart kid. And so like they would always try to pair up with me on these projects, and it would always be like somebody that I've never spoken to before. They would want to be my partner, and I'm like, no. I'm like, no, I don't fucking know you. Like I'm gonna pair up with my friend. Why would I pair up with you?
I was always afraid of being the person, because I'm so quiet in a lot of classrooms, and I was always the last picked. It was like gym class again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It was, I mean, I was always quiet too, but everybody knew that like I got good grades. So, that gets associated with like being smart. But I would argue from experience that's not the case.
I think you're very smart. So in your case, it is.
I don't know. I look back at some of these clips and I'm like, I'm a fucking idiot.
No. No, I beg to differ. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I'm just trying to consume things. I started watching this series on Netflix. Shit, what was it called? Primeval something.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I've seen the
like the Old West,
for it.
like the Old West thing.
Is it good?
It's pretty. It's really brutal. It's like, it's probably like as close to like Blood Meridian as they can get to on TV. Because have you ever read that book, Blood Meridian? It's like really, really brutal. And they've tried to make it a movie a couple times, and they just can't, because it's just, if they take out the brutality, it just doesn't make sense. So like they've started filming it like I think twice now, and both times it just got kind of scrapped halfway through because they were just like, there's no way, no one will release this. And I feel like that show is probably as close to what that would be as it possibly as we're gonna get. And I think they can do that. Like they can tell a Blood Meridian type story because they're not doing Blood Meridian, so they can write, like they have the freedom to like leave certain things out and keep certain things in, because they can mold the story themselves. Where with Blood Meridian, it's like a well-established book and well-established story. You can't change it. So you have to do some of the things that happen in that book or else it just doesn't hit the same, you know?
Is it a miniseries? Does it have 1 season, 2 seasons?
It's a miniseries. It's a limited run. It's like 6 episodes, I think. I watched the first 2 episodes.
Are you hooked though? Are you like, oh, I need to keep on watching this?
Yeah, I definitely, yeah. I mean, it's good and I'm enjoying it, but it's not like, there's other series where I was like, oh my God, like I just couldn't stop watching it. This one, like an episode ends and I'm like, all right, cool, I got an episode in, and then like I can wait until the next day. You know, but I do want to finish it though. I do want to see. Also, I think part of it is like, I know it's only 6 episodes and I don't want it to like pass too fast. You know, like I want to take my time with it. But yeah, I'm 2 episodes in so far, so. Did
I already tell you about Too Hot to Handle? Did I talk about that last week?
I don't think so. We only talked about Beanie Weenies.
That's been my Netflix obsession recently.
Too Hot to Handle?
Yeah.
Well, what's that?
It's another reality TV show where season 1, it was the easiest for them because they don't have any frame of reference. So they get 10 people who are, if you were to rate them physically, would also be 10s.
Oh, yeah. We talked about this 2 weeks ago, I think. Because remember we were talking about like hot people, single hot people not being trustworthy.
Oh, that was with Carl.
Was that with Carl? Oh, yeah, that was with Carl. Mm-hmm. Did he? Why? Whatever. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah. So they bring them all to the island, and they have to find like the most shallow people when they're doing these surveys, because the prize pot is at $100,000, and they can't touch each other or self-gratify.
I feel like we did talk about this. Yeah. I feel like we did talk, because you know what? We talked about it off camera. That's what it was. You were talking about it as I was setting everything up, I think like maybe last week or 2 weeks ago or something. Because because I was saying I can't, I'm out. Because I mean, I am a 10, but like
I'm surprised that's not easier for them to hide. Like it seems creepy that there are cameras in the shower, because that's where a lot of them go to try to do it.
That's very funny.
But I'm now, because I was season 1 last time we spoke about it then, and I'm on season 3 now.
That's just funny. They go into the shower and try to do it, and they catch them. There's like a microphone, and they like, hey, we see you. Like, I'm washing. Like I'm just washing. You were washing 2 minutes ago.
And they also tell it in the confessional too, like, oh, I just did this. And I'm like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
But I'm happy that one of the couples in one of the seasons are still together.
Yeah.
And this was like 5 years ago.
Okay.
All the rest are not. So out of 30, 2 of them have found each other.
One of the it's fun. One of the best like no nut November memes I've seen. And I'm sure there's like variations of it. It was just the first time I saw it was like, I don't know, a long time ago now. But this kid is like kind of meditating, and he's like, day 1, no nut November. My body is balancing. My mind is clearing. And then like it's like a 2 pane thing, and in the second pane, he's like levitating, and he's like 20 days into November. My power is growing. And it's just like the white meme text, you know. But yeah, that was one of the best like no nut November memes I've seen.
When you shout, can you feel it in your testicles?
When you what?
Shout. Like
shout?
Like if you're like, ha ha.
I mean, it's not like a sensation, but they definitely like retract. Because like anytime you like kind of like tighten up your core, they kind of retract a little bit.
Because they do enrichment workshops with both the men and the women. And for the guys, they have them... to release sexual tension, they have them shout a lot. I
mean, I don't know. I'm sure if you shout enough, it can like wear you out in that way, like in a similar way that like jacking off would maybe. I don't know.
As like a kind of a punishment, but as a way to redeem himself, one of the guys had to reenact a situation with he and a lady and how he would do that different, and they gave him puppets of themselves. and the guy who's supposed to be helping him is like laughing, and then but every time the person, the contestant laughed, the guy would get really serious. I like it definitely feels like they're kind of mocking them. I mean, under the guise of helping them.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the point of a reality show, though, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's always like the guise of self-improvement, but really we're laughing at these people. That's really the purpose of the show. Like, we can tell ourselves it's because it's not. We can tell ourselves like, oh no, we're just following them on their weight loss journey. But it's like, no, we want them to fail. Like, we want them to fail, and we want to laugh at them falling. Like, that's what we want, you know? Like, deep down, that's why these shows are popular.
Could you do reality TV?
I don't know. At one point, maybe, but like, I don't know. I'm too jaded about all that stuff now. I don't think I would be a good reality TV person because I wouldn't take it serious. I wouldn't. I would like break the fourth wall constantly, I think, and I wouldn't be able to take it serious. I don't think I would be a good reality TV person.
If you had to pick a reality show that you know is out there right now, what one would you choose to participate in?
Ooh, I don't even know what's out there anymore. Like my reality TV viewing ended with Real Housewives of Atlanta. Like, that was the last one that I was like really into, and that was like maybe after like the 3rd season I was kind of done with it. So I don't even know what's out there right now. Like, what's out there right now?
There's Love is Blind. There's Married at First Sight, 90 Day Fiance, Bachelor, Bachelorette.
It's like a lot of dating stuff.
Oh yeah, a ton of dating stuff. There's The Mole.
What's The Mole?
So The Mole is where a bunch of you and your group try to win a bunch of prizes, like money for the prize pot, and then a person gets killed off a week by a contestant that's actually a mole that's trying to sabotage.
Oh, okay. I think I would want to be the mole. I would do that. I think that would be fun. I would want to be the mole. Like, that would be fun. I would do that. I would get into that.
The other contestants have to take tests each week to guess who you are.
Yeah, I would be into that. I could do that one. It would either be that one or is like real world still a thing? Because I would just have to do like real world or something.
Mm-hmm. Real world. I missed the real world road rules challenge.
They don't do that anymore.
They just call it the challenge, but
it's still going though. Mm-hmm. But they don't just do people from real world and road rules anymore, right? Like they mix just people who've never been on the show anymore too.
Yeah. So it's like half randoms and half real world because they haven't made road rules in
like decades.
Yeah.
Theo Vaughn was from Road Rules, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I watched his season.
Yeah. How was that?
I actually thought he was endearing on there, but he's had some interesting people on his podcast.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like he is an enigma to me. Because while yes, he has had some interesting people on his podcast, he has also had Bernie Sanders on his podcast. You know what I mean? I feel like he was a little too friendly with the interesting people. But I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to talk about him and how I feel about him without sounding like I'm apologizing for him. But I do think he's just just a dumb guy, but like in a flattering way. Like I don't think he's really thinking about things that deeply. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think he's just like, oh, this person's running for president, and this person's running for president. You know, like I don't think he like looks at things like deeper than that.
I haven't seen his stand up yet.
Yeah.
I mean, I always thought I laughed at a ton of stuff he would say.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I laugh at stuff he says on the podcast all the time. But yeah, I don't know. He's the only one in that sphere. Or, well, I mean, there's probably other ones too. But like, there's a lot of them in that sphere that I'm just like, you're a insane person. He's one of the ones though in that sphere that I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what to feel about him. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah. I've heard a lot of negativity, but it's also one of those things where I think some of those folks are genuinely angry and frustrated. And I think some of those folks are like a little envious because this was like interesting people on the podcast.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just all stupid. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm rediscovering the Monday Morning Podcast. Bill Burr. Mm-hmm. I used to listen to it like a long time ago, pretty like religiously, and then I kind of like fell off of it. I think I'm gonna start getting back into it, just because like he's the only like real one. I think. Yeah. He's like the only one like. And I get it. Like he's said some problematic stuff in the past. He is one of the ones that, in my opinion, was just doing it for the joke, mm-hmm. and was doing it like ironically because he understands that the thing is wrong.
Yeah, and he does both sides of the coin. He never touches an issue without.
Yeah, but I think he also understands moments. Mm-hmm. And like right now, I think I don't think you're going to see a lot of like, oh, millennials, am I right? From Bill Burr right now, because like he understands that there's like a bigger issue, mm-hmm. and he's going to like he's going to address that because like, you know, the trans fear that's sweeping the nation to him doesn't matter right now. Because like there's literal Nazis in government.
It's terrifying. We're gonna be on the wrong side in World War III.
Well, World War III is gonna be the end. It's not gonna matter. There's nothing after World War III. So, but yeah, I don't know. We're getting into that doom and gloom again. Oh man.
That's where I live, though. Alex. This is what you had as your podcast partner.
Well, that's where I live as well, Sam. That's the problem. One of us has to pull us back out of that murky lake. But my point is, this whole environment has just strengthened my devotion to Bill Burr, to the Church of Bill Burr.
Is he touring again?
I don't know. I'm sure he is. He seems like he's just like always touring.
Yeah. I know he's doing a bunch of LA shows for fundraising.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully he'll come to Michigan again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I haven't seen him live in a while. Next time he comes, I should go see him. But yeah. And I don't know, he just like, obviously there's like comics at our level or even maybe just like a little bit ahead of us that are talking about these things. Like, I mean, you got Josh Johnson, you know? Mm-hmm. But of like the people who are like mega famous and are on that tier, I feel like he's like the only one who has a good Luigi Mangione take. You know what I mean? like everybody else is like, oh, he's a murderer. And it's like, okay, technically, sure.
Oh, that was something that got brushed under on yesterday is how they plan on making cuts to Social Security personnel. And they plan on laying off hundreds.
Yeah. And
folks are already like waiting several months to get like an initial appointment to start their filing process. And this new administration doesn't realize like how many layers are involved in helping people get these benefits. Mm-hmm.
They don't realize a lot. So, but yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully folks don't get angry with the people who are in the offices working. Hopefully if they have any frustrations, they'll know where to shoot them towards. Any Q&As.
Well, shooting questions is what we mean.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, if there is one like silver lining out of this whole like what we've seen since January, I feel like people are getting more with it. Mm-hmm. And I think people are kind of like understanding where to point their anger and frustration. That's not to say that like everybody is on the same page, because there are still people who are kind of going after like working people. Mm-hmm. But I think people are understanding more that it's not the person you're talking to on the phone. It's like the people above them that are the problem, you know, which like I try when I like, if I have to call like a customer service line or something, I try to be as polite as I possibly can be with the person on the phone, because I know that they are not the problem. Like they have really no say in what they can do for me in that moment. They have a script and they kind of have to just go by that script. So I try to be like as polite as I can with them, but you better believe that I get on social media after that and just like at that company constantly. Like I'm that guy. Like I was like ashamed of it for a long time, and now I just don't care anymore because it's the only recourse we have. Like I hate Bally Sports. Like I like to think that I contributed to them turning their comments off on all of their social media. I remember when we signed up for Bally Sports, and we signed up specifically because we're Detroit Pistons fans, and the season was starting, and we were like, okay, let's sign up so we can watch our favorite team, you know? And we missed the first 13 games because they would have technical difficulties literally as soon as every game would start. They'd be fine every other time, but as soon as the game would start, their network would start dropping. They would sign us out and we couldn't sign back in. Like we missed like the first 13 games because of that. And so I'm on the phone and I'm trying to be calm because I know that this person that I'm talking to is not the reason for my issues. But you better believe I got into those Facebook comments. You better believe I got into those Facebook comments. And then one day I went to do it again. and comments were turned off.
Is it turned off for everyone, or did they just limit yours?
No. I think it's turned off for everyone because I've seen other people. I mean, maybe they're just turning it off for individual people. I don't know if that's possible though. I think you have to just turn them off. Like, I don't know if you can just block someone. Like, you can't. I don't know if you can just say, "Don't let this person comment."
I know on personal pages you can.
Can you? Mm-hmm. Okay, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe they just turned me off. Then.
I've done that to a couple people.
Yeah, maybe they just turned me off. But I've seen other people complaining about it too. So I have to imagine that it's just like they just turned all comments. Because like if you went and looked at the comments under any Bally's post, it was just nothing but it was like 1,000 comments, and everyone is just like, "You won't let me watch my team. Why? Why won't you let me watch my team?"
Did you cancel it?
No, because we had a contract, so we had to like keep them. It was like it was so frustrating. I was paying to legally watch the Detroit Pistons, and I had to circumvent that despite paying so that I could legally watch the team that I love.
Well, they're still getting money. I feel like you're still supporting the team.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't. That was the most frustrating company, and it's funny because like it's FanDuel Sports now, but it's the same company. They didn't like. It's the same company. I don't know if they just like rebranded or if they got swallowed. I know Amazon bought them. I don't know if Amazon also owns FanDuel, and then just decided like let's just rebrand these guys because everybody hates them so much. But it's the same company. It's like it's Bally's. It is still Bally's. They're just not called Bally's anymore. Which is crazy because like Bally's was the health chain. So what, they just bought the health chain and they were like, oh, well, maybe we can just transfer it over to broadcasting sports.
A natural transition.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It was weird. I know Bally's was like one of the best like cruising gyms though.
Oh, like to meet people?
Yeah. Yeah, to say the least, to meet people. Their locker room was basically a bathhouse. A gay one, not a Turkish one. Which some of you are going to be like, what's the difference? Ha ha ha. Touche.
Did you ever go?
Oh, yeah, I was a member at Bally's.
You're like, without a doubt. Are there any open still?
No, they're gone. LA Fitness bought them out and then like shut them all down, and yeah.
I hate LA Fitness.
Yeah, I was a member at LA Fitness a couple like on 2 different occasions, and both times within like a couple months I was like, I don't like this, and I canceled. I remember the first time I went to sign up at LA Fitness, the guy that was like that I was like sitting across, like that like the salesperson, they're like, yeah, you know, come in here sometimes. It's like going to the club. And I'm like, yeah, it's exactly what I want out of my gym, is to feel like I'm in a nightclub.
I hate their salespeople.
Yeah,
they're the worst.
Yeah, well, because they hire young people who, obviously. Not that every single person into fitness is this, but if you are this, you are probably into fitness. They're like young party people, right? And so like if you're a young party person, the reason you're partying, like a club person, I should say, not just like party person, but like a young club person. If you're a young club person, that means you are probably, in most cases, depending on the club circuit you're in, if you're going to like big, mega mainstream clubs, you're probably a very materialistic person. And so you have to go work out because your physical fitness is your hotness, and that is very important in that circle, right? And that's who they hire to be their salespeople. And so like everything that they do, their world is going to the club on the weekend, working out during the week. You know, that's their world. And so that's all they can relate to. So they try to sell you on the thing. Because like in their mind, you don't want that. Like, this is the life. I'm living the life. I go to the club on the weekend. I work out all week. I go to the club on the weekend. Like, you know?
Yeah. Like my personal trainer, because they sold me on that. They like had me pay an extra $250 a month for like one personal training session a week.
Jeez.
That's for 30 minutes.
I've never taken that.
I was crying, like trying to beg, but they were pressuring me so much.
I did the free one time, and I was like, no, I'm done. And the first time I did it, I was still like acting, and like I was doing like community theater, and I was leading up to going to audition for Barefoot in the Park, the leading role. You know, the Paul Bradder role, the one that Robert Redford played in the movie. So I was trying to like get into a little bit of shape because like it's like the leading male role of the show. And so I went and I got the membership, and I told the trainer that I'm an actor. And in his mind, he's like, "Oh, so you're like Schwarzenegger, like you're an actor." like you're an action guy. So he like put me through like the worst workout I've ever done in my life. I was like, I wanted to like puke every second that I was like working out that day. Like I had to stop like 4 times. Like it was hell. I didn't like it. I'm like, hey, friend, I'm not an action hero. I'm doing plays. I just need to be skinny. I don't need to be buff. I don't need to be jacked. I just need to be skinny. That's it.
Did he pressure you at all after?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he was trying to get me to like get the the training sessions, but I never have a problem telling salespeople no. I actually kind of get off on telling salespeople no. I really, really enjoy telling salespeople no. I do. It's like I really sometimes I should, I should probably go and act like I'm gonna like buy a car, just so I can tell salespeople no. Make them think that I'm like really interested, and then like at the last second, just find some little minute detail to be like, I don't know, I don't like that. And then they try to sell me on like other parts of it and like distract me from the thing that I'm like hyper focused on, and just like not let my focus leave that thing and just really frustrate them. I should probably just start doing that, I think.
Yeah. Oh my God. You could charge that for a service to go with people when they go car shopping.
Oh yeah, I could. Yeah. Cause like Keith has gone to renew a couple leases in the last few years, and they've kind of like tried to like bully him, and he's kind of like that too. Like he'll kind of like bend a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, bring me with you, because I have no problem telling these people to go fuck themselves. They're the lowest rung on like the economic ladder. Like, sure, they make money, but like they're stupid. They're not making money because they have like any kind of skill. They're just good at bullying people.
Yeah. Yeah. So I hate the bully ones.
Yeah. And listen, there's a few good salespeople. Mm-hmm. Like Keith just renewed a lease, and the salesperson that he had was really good. They were like super not, aggressive. They were very laid back. They actually listened to what he was saying, gave him what he was looking for, and he was like very happy with it. But that's like less than 20% of salespeople. The other 80% are like doing tactics on you. The second I start catching on to like you're doing a tactic on me, it's over. You lost me. Like it's done. I'm trolling you now. Like it's very funny. Salespeople, they think they're like so smart, and like, no, you're the dumbest person in society. Like legitimately, you're the dumbest person in society.
I once had to do a show, and it was tables. Like these 2 tables came in of car salesmen, and they were just whipping out these wads of cash and just being very arrogant about it.
Yeah. And like, listen, again, there's salespeople who don't do that type of behavior. Mm-hmm. And like, I do have respect for those people. But like I said, that's less than 20% of salespeople.
Yeah. And most of them aren't in sales for very long because they hate doing that part. So.
Right. Yeah. And if they do like doing that part, they're just good at connecting with people, and they don't have to do tactics, Yeah. Where it's like to the point where like maybe I don't sell you anything today, but like because I was so chill, you're going to trust me now. And when you are ready to buy something, you'll come back here and buy it from me. You know, like they're just good at planting seeds.
Yeah, I appreciate those ones.
Yeah.
And I do buy from those ones.
Yeah. I in my 20s, I used to work at Marshall Fields, which is Macy's now, in the women's shoe department. Oh, and you know what? I was thinking about something about that job a couple days ago, and I was like, it's embarrassing, but I don't care. It's probably a good podcast story. I mean, it is embarrassing, but I don't care. I'm 43. I have no more embarrassment. But yeah, so like, yeah, I used to work in the women's shoe department at Marshall Fields at Lakeside Mall, and like, it was a job, you know, and we worked on commission, so whatever we sold, that's like our paycheck. And I remember I was working late. I was closing, not working late, but I was closing one night, and it was just me and this one other girl, and it was just the two of us, because normally that's a slow night. It was like a Wednesday night or something like that, or a Tuesday night, but for some reason there was like a rush, so the two of us, we were just like all over the place for like 2 hours at the end of the night. And then we had to like clean everything up. So like we were there like pretty late. And because of all of that, I just was so focused on that. I hadn't like gone to the bathroom in like forever. And so at some point, like after we closed and we were like cleaning, I had to pee so bad. And it just, it hit me, and it had to go. And I was in the back. And like the manager didn't really have an office, but they had a desk like way in the back, like where like the shoe stacks were. And I'm like beeline, because like I had like a stack of shoes, and I was bringing them back to like put them up, and that was when it hit me, and I was like, oh no, this is gonna happen. And so I had to just like drop them, and I'm like, I don't know what to do, because there's no bathroom anywhere near that part of the store. And I just started beelining it to the back of the room, not really knowing what I was gonna do. And as I'm going to the back, I see like her trash bin, and it started to come out before I got there. Like a little bit came out, relieved the pressure, and then I was able to like stop it again, and then the rest of it came out into the trash bin. Like enough came out to like relieve the pressure, but not, I was wearing black pants, so like I was definitely wet, but you couldn't see it because I had black pants.
Was the manager the one that you were closing with, or no?
No. The manager wasn't there. But and actually the manager, it was weird. It was like a weird point, because the manager, she was transferring to another store, so she really wasn't around that much anymore. And so no one was really like using that desk, because she just wasn't really there. She would be there like maybe once a month. And so she hadn't, she was just not there for a while. So I don't know how long that sat there in the trash. I would imagine that there were people.
You didn't take it out? You were like.
No, I was like 19. I was like so embarrassed. Like I just wanted to forget that it happened.
You carried it like a goldfish.
Yeah. I just wanted to act like it wasn't there. I was so embarrassed. I'm like, I just pissed my pants. And I still have a coworker here. I gotta face her. So I finish. We keep cleaning, and I'm just trying to avoid her. Like I'm so self-conscious at this point. I'm like looking constantly to see like, can you notice? And like I said, I had black pants on, and so like you couldn't really notice. Like you couldn't see any like stains or anything. So I just kept going, and I'm like just trying to finish as fast as I can, just so I can get out of there. And so we finished cleaning, and I'm trying to just go, but she's like kind of like behind me, so we're like kind of leaving together, even though I'm like just trying to get the fuck away from her. And she parked closer that day, and I parked further. She's like, do you want me to give you a ride to your car? I'm like, no, I'm good.
Were you still damp too at the
Oh yeah, for sure. Yes, 100%. Yes, I was still like a little bit. Oh god damn it, the fucking camera died. Whatever, we're just gonna finish it with just audio. It sucks when we always get into like these good stories and the camera fucking dies, and it's gonna like suck making a clip out of this now, but whatever.
Well, I can maybe make the smaller clips from it if it saved.
Yeah, sure. I mean, the good part already finished, so whatever. I can put a image over the rest of this. I'm not going to cut any of this out either. This is going to stay in the episode. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, it wasn't like a
little squirt.
It wasn't a little squirt, but it wasn't like a ton, you know, like it was just enough to relieve the pressure so that I could close the valve again. But like it was a considerable amount though.
Has it happened since then?
No, I haven't done that since then. Although I think it is in my future at this point.
I do it all the time.
The prostate is fairly large at this point. I'm assuming. I mean, well, yeah. I mean, of course, like I think like all old men. I can speak for old men. I think all old men dribble a little bit. Like, I mean, obviously I have some dribbles, but like just a full on, just like piss my pants. No, I haven't had that since that.
Yeah. I sometimes wear a safety pad. Do you practice Kegels at all?
No, I don't. I know I probably should, but I think the bigger problem is just like my prostate. I think I need to get that checked. Like, I don't think it's like anything serious. I think it's just like normal wear and tear. But it's definitely worn and torn.
You need to add it to your to-do list medically.
Yeah.
Did anybody work in that area back where the desk is? Was it in its own contained office, or was it just kind of next to the wall?
It was just next to a wall. So it was just like stacks and stacks of like shelves with like the shoes on the shelves. And it was kind of like an L-shaped room. And so like the main part of the room was just like really, really long. And then there was like the L that came off of it, which was like a little bit short. It was like maybe a third of how long the room was. And way back in that corner was where the desk was.
Anyone who's looking for shoes in that corner, like, is that like after a week, the smell?
Yeah. But I mean, if I did it now, obviously I would like try to sneak it out and clean it. But I mean, at 19, I'm just like freaking out. I'm just like, oh my God.
Yeah, they should have more restrooms scattered throughout.
Yeah, well, and especially like in the back, like in a place like that, like we're in the back. Like there should be just like a little bathroom back there.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, I that should be like a ADA compliance thing.
Yeah, it was funny. There was like an older guy that worked there, and he would always like. Because like managers from like other parts of the store would always go back there and like look at shoes or whatever, and then some of them would always get like kind of snippy or whatever, and like they would want to like act like they were managing that department, and they kind of did manage that department by like committee, because like they had a hard time finding a manager to replace the manager that was leaving. And the older guy that worked there, he was there for like a long time. He would always like start throwing OSHA regulations at them to like shut them up.
That is amazing. I love it when folks can like cite.
Yeah, it was funny. He was like one of the first people that told me that I should get into stand up. Yeah, that was like, I wasn't 19. I think I was older. I think I was like 22 or something like that.
That's so sweet.
Yeah. But yeah, he was like one of the first people that said that to me.
See, he knows what he's talking about. OSHA regulations and stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
He's pretty expert in both. Did you ever tell anyone that you worked with about that?
No, no one that I worked with knew about that. But yeah, that job was funny because like one of my coworkers was this like older Serbian lady, and her husband was the priest at the Serbian church. Like, our priests came to marry. We're not like the Catholics. We're not psychos. She was married to the priest at the Serbian church, and I was at U of M at the time. So actually, no, I had to be younger. No, I was younger than that. Now that I think about it, if I was at U of M, I had to be like 18. So yeah, I was like super young. So yeah, so Jesus Christ, I'm like losing track. Like I'm like in the black hole in Interstellar, like at the end with like time. Like I can't like gauge when things happened in my life anymore. But yeah, I had to be 18 because I was still at U of M, like 17, 18. But whatever. Anyways, I had to take foreign language classes at U of M. That was like a requirement. But I found out that if you fluently speak a language that they don't offer, or even if they do offer it, if you fluently speak a language already other than English, if you got a letter from a professional in the community, like vouching that you can speak the language, they like waive the requirement for to learn a foreign language. So like I had her ask her husband to write a letter of recommendation for me to like not have to take a language, not have to do like the language requirement, and they waived me having to do the language requirement for that.
Can you speak it?
Back then I could speak it pretty good. Now I probably can't speak it very well. Like I mean I can get by. Like if I was over there I could like I could get my point across, but I've lost a lot of it.
Santiago feels similar.
Yeah.
Spanish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does your mom speak it?
Yeah, my mom. Well, my parents, my dad was Serbian, my mom was Macedonian. So like the languages are like so similar. It literally is like UK English and American English. You know, it's like the same kind of deal. But yeah, like I got my language requirement waived because I worked with the priest's wife.
That saved you so much money.
Oh yeah, for sure, and anguish too. So
yeah. Oh. I used to get so upset at Wayne State with because they can waive the requirement at Wayne State as well. They make you take a test and you have to pay for the test, but it's still like paying $200 versus paying thousands of dollars. Yeah. And I tried to take Arabic and Russian, and I ended up dropping both classes because they're like, okay, we're going to start these classes where the class is at. And then they had us take like a little intro test, and there were native speakers in both of those classes. And I'm like, no, you guys are sandbagging for an easy A. Like, I was way behind everyone. So, and because I was the only one that was super behind, they were starting a ton more advanced than what I could do.
Yeah. Yeah, I ultimately flunked out of U of M. So, well, I didn't flunk out, but I got pretty close. Yeah, my GPA was like really low, and it was so low that I couldn't just transfer out. So like I had to get, I was below a 2.0, so I had to get back above a 2.0 so I could transfer. Because like at that point there was no way I was transferring into another school within U of M, at least not one that like I wanted to do. So I had to like transfer to just a completely different school. But I did not accomplish that. But my GPA did go up. So like it improved 2 straight semesters. And so they like let me transfer out because of that.
That's wild that they make you do that before you can.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would assume the school that you're going to wants to know that, like, you're a good student. Like, you're trying at least, you know?
Yeah. But at least your GPA resets, though.
Yeah, once you transfer, you're back to, like, 0. So, like, I finished college, I think, with, like, a 3.2 or a 3.3 or something like that.
Yeah, I finished. So I tanked my last semester because, I failed Zumba. But if I had not done that, then I would have had like a 3.1 or a 3.2. Yeah. But I barely scooched in. It was like teetering. And I failed directed study too.
I don't know. I like I regret college a little bit. Not that I went, but like just my approach to it. I don't think I like really, understood it when I was there. Like, I didn't understand what it was for, because it's more than just like the classes, you know. It's more than just like the surface level of the class, right? Like, it's more of like giving you like high school is like just learning the basics, right? Mm-hmm. And then like college, you should really kind of just be diving deeper into it. And part of it is like, I just think my high school didn't like really prepare me for it, right? Because like a book report in high school was like, read the book, summarize what you read. That was always like my book report in high school. And like, that's not what a book report should be. Like, the book report should be like you kind of like analyzing the book a little bit, like giving your interpretation of what you think the author is trying to tell you. And I never did that in high school. It was always just read the book, summarize it.
What?
Yeah, and they would give you an A. And so I didn't really like get that part of college. It was like, that's why I was struggling so much, because it was like, well, I read the book and I told you what the book said. You know, but that's not what they want in college. They want your thoughts, you know, and that never really like sunk in with me when I was in it, you know.
Yeah, I thankfully had teachers that made us do that in high school. Mm-hmm. The one that I hated the most was poetry. We had to, I hated this one teacher. He had us analyze poetry and say what we thought it was about. Mm-hmm. And I was never correct. And I'm like, oh, really? You spoke with Emerson? You know what he wanted you to get out of it?
Well, but see, that's also kind of shitty too. Like, it shouldn't be about like what someone else thinks it's about. Mm-hmm. It should be about like what you think it's about. And then there should be like a discussion about, you know, there should be a discussion about it. But like, I don't think it should be about like what, I mean, obviously, I don't know. It's like, I don't have in my mind a good way to explain what I'm trying to say here. Like there's a popular, like there is the known explanation for a piece of work. Mm-hmm. And I think that's important, because that usually is derived from the author's actual intentions. Like the author will typically reveal what they actually meant by the thing, right? And so like there's that, and that's obviously valid because it's the person that created it. Mm-hmm. But I think everyone's going to interpret something differently, right?
Yeah.
And I think that is also valid. I don't think it's like you just get an A if you just give your thoughts. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's like a balance between, you know, talking about your thoughts and then comparing it to the actual thing, and then whether or not your thoughts changed knowing what the actual thing is, or if you make good cases for why your thoughts maybe are a little bit better than the actual thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He would put in the margins that it was making a good case, but he's like, but it's not it. And
see, that's the thing. Like, if you're I feel like it should be pointed out that that's not what it is. But if you're making a good case, I feel like that is worth something, you know?
Yeah. I knew that every time we would get to a poetry section, I would have to do some rewrites. I hate poetry. To me, it's like contemporary art. I'm just not. It's lost on me.
Yeah. Most of that is lost on me. Yeah. I mean, I always obviously it's too late for me because I didn't like dedicate my life to like understanding these things, and I'm not gonna understand it at this point. But like I do like look at people who are like really like film people, and they watch a movie and they can just like pick it apart immediately. And I'm like envious of that because like I'm watching it and I'm just like, Jesus. Like, I think they were doing Jesus right here.
I was just on Johnny's podcast and I was like, look, I'm going to be that person on your podcast because you know way more about film than I do.
Yeah. I mean, that's me. I'm like, I think this is like a Christ thing right here.
Yeah, I don't get all the little nuances.
Yeah.
What do you have coming up show wise?
What do I have coming up? Next week, on the 5th, I don't know what day that is of the week. I think it's Thursday, right? The 5th, maybe?
Yeah.
Or maybe Wednesday.
Wednesday,
because what? Today's
the 1st.
Excuse me. Huh?
Today's the 1st.
Yeah, so 2, 3, 4. Yeah, Wednesday. Wednesday the 5th or Thursday if I'm wrong and I counted wrong in my head. Whatever, March 5th. You figure out if it's Wednesday or Thursday. I'll be doing Comedy Rumble in Ann Arbor as part of the Treetown Comedy Festival. And then I have something after that, and I can't remember off the top of my head. And I don't know where my phone went, so.
That could be. Do you want me to call it?
No, it's good.
It's on silent.
It's fine.
We do have the Sunday show, which we'll plug a couple more times.
Yep, that'll be at the end of the month. And then I have I think like the Friday before that, or maybe the Thursday before that, I'm doing Brad's show, The Dirty Dozen, at the Independent Comedy Club. Oh, and also next week, Smoke Show Comedy Show. Kristen Leidy will be closing it out on the Thursday, which is the 6th. Yes. Okay, so Thursday, yes. 5th is Wednesday. That's when I'll be in Ann Arbor. 6th, I'll be in Hazel Park at Smoke Show Comedy Show. Kristen Leidy closing it out. And then Saturday, we have a special one-off show with Bailey Pope. I would love to say that like tickets are running low, but they are not. So please buy some fucking tickets.
I think there'll be like a lot of regulars there, though.
Yeah.
And my hope is that they didn't realize that there was comedy there, and then we'll be like, oh, we should try a Thursday too.
Yeah, hopefully. That's all I got.
This coming Monday, which this will be after that anyways. Let me see. Thursday, no, that's a dentist appointment.
You know what's funny? I remember Nate Bargatze in an interview one time talking about like trying to put together a website, and he tied his Google Calendar to the website, but didn't realize it put everything. So like he had his show dates on his website, but also like his dentist appointments.
They happened to me too, because Google Calendar, I didn't realize that it did that. Yeah. Santi and I had to figure that out. But for him, it's like way more important if people are actually looking at his dates. Friday, March 7th, I will be at, I believe it's the White Buffalo in Northville.
Okay.
And then Saturday, March 8th, I will be in Fort Wayne, Indiana, for a fundraiser show for, I'm trying to find the poster for it. It is for the LGBTQ community. Mm-hmm. And that is at Wonder Camera Company. And that starts at 7:30. Okay. And March 15th, we are both at Wordbird.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm excited about that one.
Yeah, and that's in Ypsilanti. And then, I'll probably be back on before the rest of the shows, the rest of the month. So hopefully it'll pick up too in April. My March is good, but my April is real dead.
Oh no, my March, I need some more shows. But yeah, that's the episode. I don't have a camera to look you guys in the eye right now, to say thank you, but trust that this is coming directly from the heart. Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe all of our stuff everywhere on all the things.
Yay, thank you for listening. Thanks, and tune into the next episode.
Hopefully the camera doesn't die halfway through. We're dying.
The man tells him to smile. say thank you.